Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. Go to f2bbs.com. www.f2bbs.com. The last bastion of free speech on the interweb. That's right, guys. I want you to go to www.f2bbs.com. That's right. I want you to go there. You can, this is a great site to fight against all sorts of nastiness by posting on f2bbs.com, the last bastion of free speech on the interweb. Go there, guys. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury on the Paul Pluta channel. Today I'm doing paid review 20 SE94. This is for Blaine. Before we do this paid review, let's do a quick wristwatch check. What am I wearing today? Rolex Submariner. This is the Submariner date, the new 41 mil. Reference number 126610LN. And that's the black on the black. The LV is the green bezel with the black dial, also called the Kermit. So this here is the watch that I've got, the LN. Okay, let's jump straight in. This is for Blaine. Hi Arch, I loved your video on the green Rolex 118138. It really is my dream watch. I just had a question that you might be able to answer. Do you reckon the price of it will drop over coming years, or that it will be possible to get cheaper second-hand models into the future? Or do you reckon the price still stay as is? I'm trying to figure when the best time to buy is. Much gratitude for any expertise. Regards, Blaine. So he's asking the question. He wanted some advice there. This is what is this watch here? It's the green dial day date. Green dial day date. And what makes this one so special? Well, it's just funky as hell. It's a 36 mil Rolex, and it's basically it's on a green leather strap, and it's a classic date, just 36 mil. Obviously, it's one of their Oyster Perpetuals. What can I say about this watch here? What do I think of this watch? What's the future, etc., etc.? What do I think here? Okie dokie. So this watch here itself, I got to be totally honest with you. As far as the day dates go, because this is part of the day date series of watches there, I really do prefer them on the bracelet, on the gold presidential bracelet. This is on a leather strap, and it's kind of funny. This is a it is a beautiful. The green is beautiful. The strap is beautiful. But I got to tell you, in all honesty, this is a big ticket item. This is really big ticket, big ticket item, and I'm just a little concerned as far as the I'm a little bit concerned with buying a Rolex that is on a leather strap, because see, the president is so famous for having the presidential bracelet. That's what makes a president, is it's the bracelet itself there. That is what you really that's what makes it special, gives it its namesake. So to get it on a leather strap, you really got to think long and hard about it. The dial, it's beautiful, of course. It is absolutely, I got to tell you, that is it's an amazing dial itself there. The price, what is, just having a look on Chrono24, what's the cheapest you get this for? Having a look around the world there, about 21,000 US dollars. They've also got a cognac version. I actually prefer the green, I must confess. The cognac, okay, it's a cognac version, which is like brown. I prefer the green. Now, what do I think here of this piece? So, it's expensive. This is not a cheap piece here. What do I think will happen? Now, it's a bit, I personally, my own opinion is, if I was looking at buying this watch here, I'd probably get a 118-238. That is what I'd buy, okay? Because, why do I say this? The reason I say this is there's nothing wrong with this watch here. I'm just going to pull up my sorry about this, 118-238. The thing is, when you're spending so much money, for similar money, you can get this on a gold bracelet. And I kind of feel that that may be a better way to go, is to get a solid gold bracelet. For these are actually selling cheaper. So you're paying a massive premium. What are you paying the premium for? You're paying the premium for the dial. Okay, you're paying a massive premium for the dial. And in history, I got to tell you, some of the vintagey day dates from the 70s, they had some enamel dials. They actually are worth a damn fortune. So this is a very tricky question. Okay, you want the green, you've got your heart set on the green, that's okay. What would I do? Seriously, I think myself, the big stumbling blocks with this watch is it's 36 mil. 36 mil is it used to be the only size of president, the day dates they had. There was just 36. But now, in a modern age, they've got the 40. And the problem is, most men would go for the 40. If you're spending so much money, you want to get the 40. Now, does that make this terrible? No. I think what you've got to do is you've got to go into this with your eyes wide open. Eyes wide open. Okay, you've got to say to yourself, you know, it's an exotic dial, it's an exotic look, I'm taking a punt, but I love it. Okay, it is a Rolex. It is Rolex. Now, what's my view on these things here? Now, the thing is, we are in Rolex scarcity. It is crazy. In the past, I got to be honest with you, presidents have actually been pretty soft. I had a president in the late 90s. It was about 10,000 US I paid for it. And it sort of stayed there. I had an 18238, which was the older version. It was on a bracelet with a diamond dial, 10,000 US. And then they have gone up, but compared to a Submariner, they didn't really perform well. Now, hey, honestly, I think this is going to be an acquired sort of watch there. It's a bit like, there's a lot of watches that are a little bit like this. You know, it's a dress watch. It is a beautiful, day-date, solid gold president. Beautiful watch, beautiful watch. My honest opinion, as far as pricing goes, you've got to realize, I think if you've got your heart set on this, you should buy it when you can. I said to him, I hope you're in a position to buy it. Whenever you're in a financial position to afford it, buy it. It's 36 mil, so not the most in-demand size, but all Rolexes are popular. Buy when you have the financial means. Generally, not the most popular model, but I can't see prices falling. Everything Rolex is rising. So, in my opinion here, these exotic dials, Rolex had some enamel dials, really exotic colors in the 70s. And they are worth an absolute mozza. They also had the tiger's eye, which reminds me of the cognac, a tiger's eye dial. And they are an absolute mozza. So would I take a punt? Look, I honestly think myself, this is something, it could become very expensive, it could fall a bit, or it could hold its own. The thing is, if you really like it, it doesn't really matter. I don't think these will ever be super cheap. I think because of the exotic green, they are funky as fake. I honestly would say don't think they'll be cheap, because I think the Chinese market would love these sort of things, and also it could pass as a women's size. It could be a unisex. 36 is almost unisex. It could be a lady could get away with it. Ladies love bigger watches, so I don't ever think it would be super cheap. Would I buy it myself? Look, it's not my cup of tea. I mean, there are blue chip investments. I think things like a Submariner, things like a Pepsi, things like a Batman, a Batgirl, they're guaranteed to just rise. Okay, this watch here, I don't see it getting cheap. I don't think it will get cheap. I think the exotic dials, some of these exotic dials, they do nothing, flat, bang, they're ridiculous money. So I would tend to say it's worth taking a punt. It's a Rolex, for God's sake. How bad can it be there? I think if you needed to sell it, the thing is this, okay? I wouldn't buy this watch if you were buying it and then you needed to sell it. I think if you had to sell it in a hurry, a dealer would really screw you. They'd say, oh, it hasn't got the leather, it hasn't got the bracelet. Oh, they always come up with problem. But if you can hold and wait, it is exotic dial. I would say if it's your dream watch, make it happen. It's you could do a lot worse than buying a green dial day date. You could buy a lot worse than that. So in my opinion, I think if you love it, it's worth taking a punt on. That's my opinion. It is a great watch, Rolex Day Date. It's just the size issue. So the two things are the size. 36, people tend to want the 40. The men's want the 40. And the fact it doesn't have a solid gold bracelet. It's got a leather strap. Now the leather strap is funky as they come. However, it's factory. I get it. I get it. The positive side to this watch is super cool, limited production run. I mean, this has potential to be very expensive. My advice is I wouldn't buy it if you need to get out of it. If you need to get out of something like a Sub or a Pepsi or a Batman, that'd be much easier in and out. You're not going to have the risk. But if you are well off enough to be able to afford it and just say, I'm just going to stick with it, I'm not going to have to get out of it, I don't think it could go that. I don't think it'd be that bad, and you may have amazing upside. So I think it's got huge potential. So would I take a punt on it? Look, if the green is amazing, I must admit. For me, I want the 40. I want the 40. I'm a bigger guy. I want the 40. But if you really think it is perfect for you, maybe it's a great piece. You can't go terribly. Would it go down? Would it go up? Hey, this is a very tricky question. I think my own opinion is that model's not going to be in huge supply. You may see one very cheap. You may see a few cheap. But I think down the track, they've got potential to be expensive. A dealer will buy it and hold for a high price. So I tend to think, doesn't mean he will give you a high price. That's the thing. So it's a sort of a watch that it's a bit like buying a high-end dress watch. You've got to be able to hold for a fair price if you need to sell. If you need to liquidate it, you're buying it and you say, oh, I may need to liquidate it. Well, that's not where I'd take a punt. I'd be getting something, money in the bank, like a Sub or a GMT, something like that, where your money you just get it back. So it is an interesting watch. It's a beautiful watch. That green is amazing. It's amazing. And it'd be good to see. Do I know the answer? Look, I've generally, when I've seen these things, they tend to be a bit flat for a while. Dealers kind of, if they're buying it from you, they will screw you. They'll say, oh, it's 36 mil, it's on a leather strap. They'll really want to buy it cheap. But down the track with the green, they get an exotic dial following. They can be quite expensive. So I think it's the worst of both worlds, okay? If you're selling it to a dealer, he's going to skin you. If you're buying it, he'll talk it up. So you've got to go into it with that mindset. If you can buy it and hold, it's a beautiful, it's gorgeous. But if you are going to have to get out of it, I would be buying Steel Sports. I'd buy Steel Sports Rolex. You get a beautiful Rolex and you can get your money back. So that's up to you. You've got to work that out yourself. But it is gorgeous. It's beautiful. And if you really like it, get it when you can afford it. That's my advice. I'm ArchieLuxury. Tell me what you think, guys. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. And remember, I can't survive on Google Ads alone. I need paid reviews and telephone. I give telephone advice. That's what keeps me in the saddle. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW.
The Rolex Submariner date. Probably the most versatile, the most famous, the most wanted watch of 2020. The Rolex Submariner. Absolutely stunning. I've gone for the steel model. I wanted something that could be worn every day. The businessman's delight. Look at the side profile. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I've got to tell you, I am in love with this Submariner. Black on black. Does it get any better? Black on black. The Rolex Submariner. This is what this is just such a beautiful look at the. I got to tell you, the maxi, that just the whole thing, this whole thing is everything the ceramic sub should have been from day one. Absolutely winner, chicken dinner. Absolutely. And it's got the new clasp with the glide lock for easy adjustments. Absolutely winner, chicken dinner.
Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.